Hello and welcome to your midweek messages. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of February 2022. And let's see what the cards have in store for us with this message. Wow, so we've got 4 already. Let's see if there's any more. No, looks like 4. 4 is the magic number today. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Yes, I like the way it's looking. So we have the 8 of Wands is one of my favorite cards. It's all about obstacles and delays being removed, and everything falling into place. So I think we all know, we've all had that experience when something has been right for us. And we've made a decision, we've taken some action, and then, everything just falls into place. Everything you need is just there. And you think, oh, wow, this is miraculous. But that's what happens when you make your divine choices, when you make choices that are in alignment with who you really are. So this is perfect, because this tells us that you are exactly where you need to be. Exactly where you need to be. Now, you might not feel like that, because you might feel like there's a lot of upgrading going on, and there's a lot of ascension symptoms and things like that. So it's always nice to know, to have it confirmed that we're going in the right direction. Sometimes with symptoms, talking of ascension symptoms, but all symptoms, a lot of people try and get rid of the symptoms, and yet it is the symptoms that are the cure. This I want to say. Very often the symptoms are what is creating the cure, if that makes sense, because everything starts in the non-physical. Okay, so if you want to change something, it has to change with a thought or a belief or something like that, or just a shift in your frequency. That's how we change things. That's how we heal. That's how we ascend, is by shifting our frequency. And when we do that, obviously that higher frequency energy is coming into our energy field. And when the light comes in, the darkness goes. So when the darkness goes, you feel it. It's the same with releasing trapped emotions with the emotion code, or any other emotional healing technique. But when those trapped emotions that we want to get rid of, or it could be a germ or something, right? It's quite topical, that we want to get rid of. Then the body does it itself. The body is self-cleaning. The body is self-healing. But talking of emotions, when those emotions actually leave your body, you do feel them, because the reason they were trapped is because you didn't process them. So you sometimes do feel them. So that's why very often with emotional healing, with energy healing, you often feel worse after an energy healing session before you feel better. But when you understand that, and you can prepare yourself for it, and then when you feel tired or emotional or what have you, you can honor it, and you can love your human and express compassion for your human. And rather than, oh, there's something wrong with me, I must stop this feeling. No, it's because you stopped that feeling in the first place that you have the issue, if that makes sense. So yes, this is basically everything falling into place because you're upgrading. You're upgrading. So enjoy it. She's enjoying all of her energy. The Pentacles for me is abundance in everything, not just financial. So, but she is enjoying herself. So she's my constant reminder that we need to enjoy our money, our resources, our love, our creativity, our inspiration. I mean, everything, our happiness. She's swanning around the garden. I call her Lady Muck, because she's enjoying everything. And so she's come as a reminder that that's how we raise our frequency. So even if you're feeling ascension symptoms or any other kind of symptoms, just look at it from a higher level of consciousness and just know that your body is healing itself and your body is upgrading. So then you can express gratitude for the process When you express gratitude for the process, that will speed up the healing process because you're putting higher frequency energy on, as opposed to, I don't feel very well, there's something wrong, you know, nothing's going right. That energy will keep you in the density. So awareness is everything. Awareness is everything. And as we ascend or grow, evolve, whatever word you want to use, it doesn't mean that life gets all cushy and wonderful. What it means is that we can navigate the difficulties from a higher level of consciousness. So therefore we can navigate them with ease and grace and understanding. Understanding is everything, I think. Now we've got a breakthrough. The Ace of Swords is a new way of thinking, which I think is exactly what I'm talking about. Think about things differently. So if you have any symptoms whatsoever, then just honor them, thank your body, love your body, okay? Understand that your body's self-healing, realize that you're an amazing, miraculous being, okay? That you're a trillion beautiful cells, 50 trillion, I think it is. And when you can look at things from that direction, it will speed up any of the processes going on with this light coming in. So yeah, it's kind of amazing time. So this is a breakthrough in the way you think. It's like a little aha moment, or an inspiration. It could be a massive inspiration coming in. And this will also, because it's on the non-physical, it's ideas. They will be manifested because our thoughts become things. You know, Mike Dooley tells us that, right? Our thoughts become things. Choose good ones. So this is new ways of thinking and new ways of looking at the world, and that will be manifested. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, the gratitude that you put on your body and the symptoms, any symptoms that you're feeling, the gratitude that you put on is going to be manifested. You're going to end up with things in your life to be more grateful about, you know, a body to be more grateful about. So the non-physical becomes physical. So this is new ways of thinking, which obviously lead to new ways of doing things. And he is the Two of Wands. He's got the whole world in his hands. I think of him as looking out over the shores of the new earth, having made a decision. Twos are decisions. Okay, so this is about understanding that you are the whole universe. I have to always say that with this card. You're the whole universe in one human being. You're not just a drop in the ocean, you're the whole ocean in one drop, said Rumi. So this is about you taking this higher ground. I want to say taking this higher ground, okay? Taking this higher way of looking at it. And I also want to say being willing. I want to say this is you being willing to look at things differently, being willing to do things differently, to look at things differently, to do things differently, to just make changes, yeah, to help you shift your energy. It's like, I think it was it Albert Einstein that said, I can't remember exactly, but along the lines of, you know, true madness is when you keep doing the same thing, but you're expecting a different result. Well, we need to shake our energy up if we want a new result. The high chances are that if you have ascension symptoms going on, you know, you're upgrading. And if you're upgrading, that means there's a whole new frequency, there's a whole new timeline for you to absorb and enjoy. And what I'm seeing with myself and others that I'm working with is that a lot of our dreams are actually coming to us quicker than we thought. I had things going on and I thought, oh, I'll do that in the future. That's a dream I have in the future. And the universe just kind of like smacked me in the face and said, now, what's wrong with now? And I'm like, oh my God, yes, of course. What's wrong with doing it now? And that's what's happening. Our dreams are coming into reality much quicker than we realized. And we're being upgraded. That's why it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's exactly like the caterpillar into the butterfly, isn't it? I think that's what's, you know, we're literally coming out like that. And so all this density is having to leave our bodies. And things are happening. We have to take advantage of this surge in energy that's coming in this February. If you haven't already seen the messages for the month of February, I'll put a link in the description of the video in the end screen. Fabulous February, because I think we're literally being pushed forward, because but we have had all the planets in retrograde, haven't we? Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean. And now they're not until the end of April. I'm not an astrologer, but I do follow Pam Gregory. So we're all getting this astrological push, I want to say energetic, of course, push forward, probably more than we were prepared for. It's a bit like being at school when you thought that you were singing in the choir, and then the teacher comes behind you and just pushes you forward, and it's like you're suddenly doing a solo and you didn't realize. And it's that feeling of, I'm not ready for this. But actually, when you step out there, you know, and the lights are on you, you get that first note out, oh my God, and everything's okay. So we're at that stage where a lot of us go, no, we're resisting the teacher pushing us out. You know, we're sort of like going, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. We are ready. You are ready. Okay. And willingness. I want to talk about willingness really quickly. I'm going to share my screen, hopefully, if I can do this, because this is a really important stage of our evolution, I think, and I hope that's being recorded like that. Because on this chart of consciousness, as you can see, we have the lower density emotions at the bottom and the higher ones in the expanded state. We can see that the lower ones below 200 are in a contracted state, and the ones above 200 are in the expanded state. And of course, the universe is expanding all the time, and we are expanding with it. We are expanding energetically into more of who we are. And if we look at the tipping points between the suffering and the getting by, okay, and you want to jump into the expanded state and flow, divine flow and love and joy, you can see that we have the word willingness. And I think this is so, so powerful. Willingness, because you don't know what's happening, or you might do, but a lot of us don't know what's happening. We don't know where we're going. We don't really know. There's no manual for this. The only manual we have for this is, of course, tapping into your higher self. And of course, that can be difficult when we're bogged down with all this programming and limiting beliefs. But there's a willingness here, willingness for everything and anything. Willingness to grow, willingness to evolve, willingness to share, willingness to be vulnerable, willingness to hurt, you know, to feel the pain, willingness to heal, willingness to try something new, willingness to dare, okay, willingness to embrace the future, willingness to follow our dreams, willingness to believe our power, willingness to believe that we can create our dreams, you know, sooner than we realized. This willingness is massive, but it, you know, we do need to go through that being pushed out onto the stage, the nervousness. There is a nervousness. It's like a leap of faith. You know, we have to be willing to take a leap of faith, because it's that willingness that's going to lead us into acceptance. There we have the acceptance of all that is, loving what is, accepting everything the way it is, understanding that everything is perfect as it is. And accepting yourself, of course, understanding that everybody else is a reflection of a part of you, so therefore you can accept them too. Reason and love. I mean, this is when we really tap into love and joy and peace and harmony and all these beautiful higher frequency states of being. But it starts with willingness. Willingness to process the emotions, willingness to be wrong. How many of us are willing to be wrong? You know, as you advance up this scale, as you move up this scale, I should say, because like there's no better or worse going on here and no judgment. This is just energetically the frequency, okay? But as you go up this scale of frequency, as you raise your frequency, the way you think changes. You know, you no longer feel the victim. You know, when you're at the bottom of this scale, people, you wouldn't be watching this video if you were at the bottom of the scale, but people there think that life is dangerous, dog eat dog, survival of the fittest, you know, attack is the best form of defense. You know, they have that mentality. When you go up this scale, there's fear. You see where fear is. There's a lot of fear around And this is where people are, these people tend to follow rules a lot. A lot of the fundamentalist religious people tend to be in this group where they follow instructions outside of themselves, and basically live life in quite a fearful way. It's also the whole, this comes from the whole map of consciousness, which is one of the things we look at on my online course. I'll put a link into my online course actually, because this is only a small part of it, because for copyright reasons I can't put the whole chart on, but I can in my course. Because also, as you go up this chart, you also, your view of God and your view of life changes. So when you get to like the courage stage, you know, life is okay, you're getting by, you know, but you're kind of taking all the credit. You're not thinking there's something, some higher self. You're not always connected to your higher self. But when you get into the willingness to go beyond the physical, I want to say, the willingness to understand that you're a multidimensional being, the willingness to follow your heart, the willingness to understand you're an energy being, and that there's so much more to life than the one that you're living. That's what I find gets a lot of people to this point, is that you're living life. You might be okay, kind of fairly happy, but there's an inner nagging feeling inside you that there's more to life than the one you're living. Have you ever felt like that? And that's the point of willingness. And that's why the willingness to explore the higher realms, I want to say. Because when you get to this level, that's basically, you know, how we get into this expanded state, because we're expanding our awareness beyond the physical. And so people then start realizing that life is happening for them. Life is happening for them. It's for their benefit. You can see the benefit in all actions. You can see the benefit in your adversity, any adversity and suffering that you've experienced in your life. You can see how it served you. It served you. Maybe it helped you learn to love yourself. Maybe it helped you learn some other spiritual lesson. Maybe it taught you something about yourself. Maybe it taught you something about yourself through the way you deal with others. Maybe it was trauma that needed to wake you up to your own healing abilities, you know. But understanding that life happens for your benefit. But when you get higher up this chart into love, you realize that life happens through you, that you're actually creating life from the non-physical through your thoughts, your words, and your deeds into your action. You're actually creating the physical world, and there is only you. So life is actually happening through you, not just for you. And then when you get to the very top of this chart, you realize that you are life. So I just wanted to share that with you quickly, and the power of willingness, the power of willingness. So my question to you is, are you willing? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to be wrong? Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to feel uncomfortable? Are you willing to do things differently? Okay, are you willing to embrace the glory of it all? Are you willing to honor any symptoms that are coming up? Are you willing to look on the positive side of everything, and that it's all happening for your benefit? Life is happening through you. And I think what's happening with this beautiful upgrade that's going on in February, in fabulous February, I think what it's doing is it's just bringing us in more light, and it's clearing out those emotions and whatever it is that needs to be cleared out. There's a lot of healing to be found, but you need to be willing to embrace that, love yourself, show compassion for yourself, and all those glorious things, as opposed to being in fear, there's something wrong with me, being in victimhood. That's not gonna get us anywhere. That's gonna keep us in a contracted state. That's gonna keep us in the density. And that's exactly what we're moving out of. We literally are turning into butterflies. We're literally expanding into more of who we ever dreamt we could be. Wow. We're moving into more of who we ever dreamt we could be. Oh my goodness. I'm going to love you and leave you on that one, guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all. You take care. Have a good midweek. See you in the next video. Bye.